Alright, so today's video is about the CLX-6260 series Samsung printer. So the problem with this one is that it paper jams. And there we have it, paper jamming. So this is a lot similar problem to the Samsung 4195, the C1860 CLX-4195 printer, only that is much more difficult to fix. So the first thing we're going to do is unplug it. Now the problem with this machine, the first problem you'll have to fix will be this solenoid on the side. If you want to learn how to fix this solenoid, go watch the video for the 4195 or C1860. It's the same part with the same problem, and that causes an A4-111 error code. This will fail at the same time as the paper jamming problem, or it will be close within several months. Okay, so what we have to fix is the same solenoid as in the other machine, only in this machine it's next to impossible to get to. The solenoid that we have to get to if I can get it into focus, is right here where I'm pointing the pen. If you look through that tiny little crack, oh, fuck off, Jesus. Fucking 7:30 at night and customers still harassing me. This solenoid right in here, it's next to impossible to get to. This is the first time I have fixed this problem on this series of machines, so I'm making it up as I go along. So what I'm going to do is we're going to try and fix it like the others. We're going to cut a hole in the plastic frame here in order to get access to the solenoid. To get to it properly, you've literally got to pull this entire frame out. I vaguely remember fixing a machine about 5 years ago for this problem. It took approximately 2 days to fix this customer's machine, so we're going to try and do it on the fly and as fast as possible. So we're going to cut this out and see if we can get access to the solenoid quickly that way. But you can see it in there, right, just in through the crack there. That's what we have to get access to, and that will always fail after a really hot summer. Alright, so we've gotten into this section with the Dremel, and we've simply cut along here, along here, and along here, and lo and behold, behind the flap is the very solenoid we need to get to that's got the issue that's causing all the paper jamming problems. So you'll have to be careful when you cut it because the solenoid is right at the cutting point. Break that off. And then what you'll have to be careful of is the cable. The cable is right there, very close. You could actually cut it with your cutting tool. See right there, the cable. You want to avoid cutting that, of course, because that would be a very bad thing. Now we just need to open this up a bit more to get a bit more of an access, but the whole thing's taken less than 5 minutes, so we'll get in there, we'll pull the flap out, fix it as per the other videos with super glue and paper, and then this problem will be permanently fixed out of the printer and the printer will be more reliable. So I'll just go and pause and we'll open it up a bit more and we'll get in there, and it's this little flap right here, the flapper. That bit we've got to get out. So we've got to get that out without breaking the spring and dislodging it and creating a big problem. Alright, so we've cut the plate out here, and that's given us quite good access to the solenoid in here. So now it's simply a matter of disconnecting this spring, trying not to lose it. Like so. And then getting in and grabbing the plate out of the solenoid. And there we have the plate that's causing all the problems. So your big $1,000 printer has suffering a paper jamming issue, all because of this tiny little piece of black foam rubber. Alright, so we've got our super glue, we've got our plate out, we've got our tiny little piece of foam rubber on the plate. This piece of foam rubber can actually move around. It can, if it becomes really hot in summer, the rubber will actually slide out of place. You just simply peel it off, put it back into this position, get some super glue, and push it into the foam. You want the foam to suck the super glue into it to reform. The bonds of the glue, of the foam. And then what we're going to do is going to take a piece of paper that we have cut, stick that on. We're going to coat that with super glue, push it down, Much easier when you do it two hands. And then we just simply let it dry. And we do the same. We can't really get access to it. But there is another little piece of foam up in here. It's not really that important, but you can coat that in super glue as well. And then put it all back together. Maybe fashion a cover to go over it if you're that fastidious. And then the printer will be all fixed and it won't paper jam anymore. Okay, so up on this solenoid there is a piece of foam that ideally I would like to coat in super glue, but it's really impossible to access. The access hole up here is not in the right position on this model. You can't get into the screw that's just here. The screw right here, it's just not, it hasn't been drilled in a convenient location. If you want to, you could possibly get into there and widen that hole with a drill right here, but you've got to be careful of this cable not to damage it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a piece of soft steel, bend it, and just poke it around and just coat it that way with super glue. Or you can just simply put it all back together, wing it, and hope for the best. Alright, so there we have it. The solenoid flaps back in, the springs back on. It's just a matter of plugging it in and testing it and seeing if it works. Alright, so cross our fingers that is fixed. And there we have it, no more paper jamming printer. Although our customer is using a dodgy cartridge which is producing dodgy quality prints that we need to fix. So we'll try that again, just make sure. This time we're going to do a color print. And there we go, it is fixed. Oh my word, this customer is using some atrocious cartridges. There we go. Cartridges from the Choo Choo Train Company. You've always got to stop at the station to get your ink cartridges, and the station will always break your printer. If you're in the Brisbane or Gold Coast area and you want to have this problem fixed on your printer, give us a call before you have a go. If you have a go and you stuff it up, I'm not interested in helping you. It takes too long. If you just want to pay us to fix this problem, we will fix this paper jamming problem. We will fix the solenoid on the side here that goes faulty at the same time, because there's no point in fixing one without fixing the other. It will cost you $280 Australian, and we will come out and fix it on site. If you've carried out this repair and you've managed to get your printer functioning again, the link is there. You can send me a tip, buy me a beer, whatever, because without this knowledge you wouldn't have a working printer. That's today's video. Thanks.